God, what a week this has been. I mean, not only did I have to decide what to wear tonight, but I had to choose the performers. I had to find a space. I had to design a card. I had to write a press release. And I ran into my ex-husband. He didn't recognize me. Then we got into a talk about art. And he said that art that has content or morality is not really art. Feminist minimalism. Recently, I was in Mexico, and one night I saw a woman cooking on the street. Her stove on the curb somehow made all of Mexico her kitchen. I felt as if I had walked into her house by mistake. "Excuse me, I'm sorry," I might have said, if my Spanish was a little better. She might have answered, "Oh, it's no problem at all. Are you hungry?" Teenager, I used to make fried onion sandwiches. They were very cheap. When I was a little girl, I remember watching my grandmother make noodles. She would take the dough and she would roll it out on the table, and then she would begin to slice the dough into long, flat noodles. I was talking with a friend, and my friend said, "How can you make art when people are starving?" I answered, "Well, art is food for the soul." And she said, "Well, that's not going to feed starving people. I mean, how can you stand it when they have their arms outstretched, begging for food?" And I said, "Well, perhaps if we made art that was beautiful and poignant, maybe someone would do something." She wouldn't buy that. She said, "Well, it still doesn't fill empty stomachs." So I thought, well, maybe I should consider making art that's digestible. We are sorry, but we do not feel that your work fits the format of our gallery. Thank you anyway. After reviewing your slides. The selection committee has decided not to include your work in this year's schedule. I know what this was going to say. I regret that we are unable to show your work at this time. I want a poem with remedies for inner aches. A poem with magic words. A poem to turn to when the phone is out of order, when everyone is away for the summer. A poem for those times when no books are readable. A poem for coming home to no one. A poem for getting up to an empty day. My friend finds beautiful rocks, admires them, then throws them back. I search, and when I find one, I want to make it mine. I want to shrink and walk on its smooth surface, to explore its sweet mysteries in detail, then hide it among other belongings to look at secretly when I'm alone. Across the aisle on the R train, uptown Saturday morning, a black-haired woman in yellow manicures her man's nails like my mother did my father's on Sunday afternoon rides in the country. She would take the hand that shifted gears and put it in her lap, then gently clean his nails with bobby pin, as my brother and my sister and I sat fighting in the back seat. Are you hungry? I'd like you to eat my performance.